Good morning, students. So this is Mukesh Chauhan once again going to present my next video for the students of class 12, chapter number 4, the rat trap. Students, in my previous video, I discussed with you the story of a person who is quite jobless. He is not having any kind of job. He roams here and there in search of job, or we can say not in search of job, in search of his two-time meal. Although he was managing his day-to-day life by bagging wire from the stores, from big factories, from big shops, he used to make rat traps by his own. Even though this profession of making these rat traps was not profitable. This shows that in Sweden, in those days, the people were jobless. The narrator has tried to show the condition of Sweden during the World War. Although he was getting wire without any kind of investment, he was just putting his labor. Even then he was not getting profit. Therefore he was forced for begging. And this begging was also not fruitful for him. Therefore whenever he got an opportunity, he used to steal things. In the same consequence, while he was roaming here and there, just on the road without job, as I told you, he noticed a old cottage where he went, and the owner of the cottage welcomed him, offered him meal. Not only meal, he also offered him tobacco for smoking. He also enjoyed him by playing Majolis. It's a kind of game with the stranger. When he became opened, he showed him 30 kroners. Kroner is a kind of currency of Sweden. He showed him 30 kroner which he received by selling milk of his cow. This was a kind of temptation for the stranger which put him into the trap, which put him into the cage. This, as he told in his thoughts, that this world is nothing but a kind of cage. And those who are highly ambitious get trapped into it. Now the day came when he himself was caught into the cage and he found himself into difficulties. While he was searching for the way which was safe, secure, after stealing these 30 kroners from the house of the old man, he decided to move through the jungle. While he was passing from the jungle, he forgot his way, and in search of finding the way, he roamed into the same part of the forest throughout the day, but could not find any solution. At the end of the day, being tired, he was thinking in a portion of the forest that this was the last day of his life. And he remembered his thought that this whole world is nothing but a big cage, and the things, beautiful things, which are luxurious, they are nothing but a kind of temptation. Similarly, as we offer attractive things to rats to catch them, if we want to catch rat, we put beautiful things into the cage, and ultimately the rat is got into the cage. Similarly, we human beings are offered beautiful things, luxurious things, This is none but a kind of temptation which attracts us and brings us to the end of life. The same happened with the red trapper or the stranger. Therefore, he took these 30 kroners from the cottage of the old man. As he was roaming here and there in search of the shelter, as he heard the thumping sound of hammer, he noticed that there might be some iron factory. So he moved in the direction of the sound. Finally, he reached on the cottage which was used as an iron industry. Because of the sound of thumping, because of the sound of clatter, and the climate which was quite cold, since it was the end of December, so naturally it was very cold outside. It was raining, the wind was blowing. So because of this sound, he entered unnoted into the iron factory. In the factory, the iron master, the ironsmith along with his apprentice, they were waiting there for the iron to be melted at the furnace. Without being noticed, he reached near the furnace. His motive was none but to get shelter there, to pass his time there. He reached there. When he reached there, he talked to the iron master. And begged to take shelter there. While he was into the cage, the iron master looked at him differently, but he did not respond. He says, surely it was nothing unusual for the people, vagabonds without any better shelter for the night, to be attracted to the force by the glow of this light which escaped through the sooty panes. When the stranger or the red trapper entered into the furnace, into the factory, he found the ironsmith along with his apprentice were waiting there. He reached there. Because of the sound, he was unnoted still, and he reached there. He noticed that the fumes were coming out, black fumes were coming out because of the burning of coal. So the pots were quite black there. Therefore, the narrator has used sooty panes. And they were sitting there at the fire. The blacksmith glanced only casually and differently at the intruder. Why the blacksmith noticed or glanced or looked at the intruder casually? He thought that this is the practice of the vagabonds who used to come there not in search of job, not for thievery, but in search of getting shelter. Therefore, being unaware, being casual about the presence of the intruder, he looked at him. He looked the way people of his type usually did, with a long beard, dirty and ragged clothes, with a bunch of red traps dangling on his chest. When the stranger entered into the furnace, the ironsmith noticed that he was hanging some red traps in his neck. His clothes were dirty, his clothes were torn, looking like a beggar. Therefore, he did not heed. He was not worried to look into the gesture of the stranger. He did not attend him as if he might be a matter of some alert. He became careless about him. Now he asked permission to stay, and the master blacksmith nodded a haughty contempt without honoring him with a single word. Here, two words are used by the narrator, haughty and consent. Here, haughty is a sense of a kind of proud. When someone feels proud, it is the synonym of haughty. And consent here, consent means permission. When the red trapper asked permission to stay there, the ironsmith thought that it is a kind of vagabond. Like him, many people come there and it might be from the same. Therefore, being in the sense of proud, he neither denied but nodded, means gave permission with a sense of pride in himself. But he did not honor him, he did not welcome him with a single word, means he did not speak. He just permitted him, but did not speak even a single word from his mouth. The way it happens whenever a beggar or some unknown comes to your door and he asks to sit there, he asks for food or for water, it happens that we just point out, we just indicate that okay, you sit down, we just nod and do not say anything. Similarly, it happened in the case of the ironsmith. He just nodded, he permitted the stranger to sit there, but he did not speak a single word from his mouth. The red trap did not say anything either. The red trapper was also not in a temper of speaking there, because he was there to stay, to pass his time. He never supposed to gossip there. Therefore, he also not talked there. He had not come there to talk, but only to warm himself and to sleep there. In those days, the Ramsau iron mill was owned by a very prominent iron master. Prominent means very ambitious, alert. Means this iron mill was owned by a man who was quite ambitious and a good entrepreneur. It was owned by him. His greatest ambition was to ship out the good iron to the market. His only and only desire was to transport or to produce quality iron that can be supplied into the market. He watched both night and day to see the work was done as well as possible. This was the reason that this iron master or the owner of this factory used to come both the times. Students in industries or in industrial productions where the production units are supposed to work, they run as per the shifts. Nowadays we have seen the industries are working in 3 shifts. One shift means 8 hours, so 24 hours means 3 shifts. In earlier time, only 2 shifts were supposed, but with the initials of industrialization of this world, people have become more desirous, more ambitious. Therefore, now they have started 3 shifts. So in those days, 2 shifts were in practice, and the iron master was supposed to visit both the shifts. Since his only desire was to produce quality iron into the market, so he was supposed to go to visit the production of iron, whether it was going on in a bay, it is supposed. And at this very moment, he came into the force on one of his nightly round of inspection. Since it was the second shift which was going on, and it was his usual visit to the factory, so no special attention was there, no specific work was being done. The workers were doing their own work as usual. When he entered into the factory for the inspection, naturally the first thing he saw was the tall ragamuffin who had entered or eased his way too close to the furnace, that the steam rose from his wet rags. As soon as the iron master or the iron master Smith entered into the factory, his first sight fell upon the man who was lying near the furnace. It was none but it was the rat trap who entered into the factory and who got permission from the ironsmith for staying there, who permitted him without speaking a single word. Therefore, he laid himself near the furnace so that he could keep himself close, he could keep himself warm in the winter season. It was the month of December, end of December. As he was lying there, his clothes were torn, they were wet because of it was raining outside. So as he was lying near the furnace, the steam was coming out of his clothes. And as soon as the iron master entered into the factory, his sight fell upon him. He noticed the man. The iron master did not follow the example of the blacksmith. Means the way blacksmith permitted without observing or without looking at the man, he permitted him to stay there, but the iron master did not follow him. Means he also did not leave him, but he tried to find out the truth behind him. He tried to find out who he was. So he went to him. Who had hardly time to look at the stranger. He walked close up to him, looked him over very carefully, then tore off his slouch hat to get a better view of his face. Since he did not follow the example of his own blacksmith, he went to the stranger to know more about him. He put off his slouch, means a long brimmed cap. He put it away from his face. The man was lying there keeping this hat over his face. So the ironsmith or the master went to him. He removed his hat so that he could view his face clearly. But of course, it is you, Niels Wolf, he said. How you do look? When he removed the cap from the face of this stranger, he got confused. And he said, "Oh, Niels Wolf, it's you." Here, Niels Wolf is another character. Niels Wolf was his comrade. When this iron master or the owner of the mill used to be in army, he was having a companion whose name was Niels Wolf. Therefore, he was considering him as his companion, Niels Wolf. Therefore, he said, "Oh, Niels Wolf, how you do look," means how you are looking. Your gesture has been changed. You are not looking the same as used to when I worked in the defense. The man with the red trap had never before seen the iron master at Ramzo and did not even know what his name was. But it occurred to him that the fine gentleman thought he was an old acquaintance. When the iron master was talking to him, the red trapper had never seen him, he had never talked to him, but while lying there, he calculated everything. He thought of him. He thought that this iron master is confused. Possibly he is considering him someone else. Therefore, he did not answer. He remained silent. But it occurred to him that if the fine gentleman thought he was an old acquaintance, he might perhaps throw him a couple of kroner. He thought if he is confused and thinking him that he is his fellow, then possibly in the form of help he will offer him 1 or 2 kroner. You see the limit of temptation. He had already stolen 30 kroner from the old man's house, which were still in his pocket, and they became the cause of his trouble. Even then, he did not learn any kind of lesson from this deed. He was still in greed. He was still thinking that this iron master, possibly being confused, thinking that he is his own companion, therefore, in the form of help, he would offer him 1 or 2 kroner. So he did not answer, and expecting that this man will give him a kind of help in the form of some money. Keeping his face still covered, he was just lying there, did not speak even single word, and the iron master was still standing in front of him. He did not want to undeceive him at his own. He thought that he should not give his identity. If he will give his identity, possibly he will not help him. This kind of temptation forced him not to tell the truth about himself. So the stranger remained silent. Yes, God knows things have gone downhill with me, he said. He decided to not disclose his identity. He said that many wrong things happened with him while he was living down the hill. You should not have resigned from the regiment, said the iron master. At this, the iron master tried to remind him his old deeds, and he said, whatever wrong has happened with you, I think it is because of you. I think you should not resign from your previous job. This is all because you have resigned from your job, which you should not. That was the mistake. If only I had still been in the service at the time, it never would have happened. Well, now, of course, you will come home with me. The iron master said, if he were with him in the regiment, possibly he would have not faced the circumstances which he was facing right then. But unfortunately, he resigned from the regiment and was forced to leave from there. Therefore, the iron master could not help him. He could not know about him, what happened with him, till he meet right now. He said, okay, whatever has happened with him, let it go. Now he invited him to go to his home. He invited him to go with him in his own house. to go along up to the manor house. Manor house means old big house, and be received by the owner like an old regimental comrade, that however did not place the trim. Since he was having a different kind of expectation from the ironmaster, therefore when he was invited by the ironmaster to take him to his own house, to give him shelter in his own house, it did not please the red trapper. The stranger was not happy listening this kind of invitation, because he was having the single expectation in mind. He has pre-assumed that he was going to get some money, he was going to get some kroner in the form of help, which did not come in his way. It happened just opposite to his ideas, his thoughts, his pre-assumed story. Therefore he was not happy. No, I couldn't think of it, he said, looking quite alarmed. Quite alarmed means being aware, alarmed. He directly denied the ironmaster to go with him. He did not become ready to follow him. He said, sorry, I cannot go with you in your house. While he was telling this, he was aware, he was quite alert, because anything could happen. Possibly he will throw him out of his factory. Being a friend, he was offering him help, but he was not ready to accept his help. Therefore anything could happen. So the stranger was also aware of it. So he was quite alert while telling him his own decision that he was not ready to go with him. He thought of the 30 kroners. The stranger who has stolen 30 kroners from the old man's house, now he was remembering these 30 kroners. To go up to the manor house would be like throwing himself voluntarily into the lion's den. Now he was thinking that it was the time when he put himself into danger by stealing these 30 kroners, because of which he is roaming here and there in difficulty. Now another chance has come when he is accepting the invitation. If he is accepting the invitation of this ironmaster, means the red trapper is putting himself into the mouth of a lion. He was entering into the house of a lion himself. You see the wonderful comparison of the narrator, how beautifully he has presented the things. If he accepts the invitation, means he is putting himself into the mouth of a lion. Therefore, he was thinking, he only wanted a chance to sleep here in the forest and then sneak away as unconspicuously as possible. The stranger's idea, the stranger's thought, and his mind was thinking only to stay there for night and going away from there without being noticed. Because those 30 kroners were still in his pocket and he was thinking about them, he was worried about them. May not he be searched? This can be one of the ideas in his mind. He could be taken as search because he was containing the stolen money. Therefore, his idea was only to stay there for passing out his night, staying there for the night, and his thought was that he will go away from there early in the morning next day without being noticed. The ironmaster assumed that he felt embarrassed because of his miserable condition. When the stranger denied, refused to go with him, the ironmaster thought, possibly my comrade is denying to go with him because He was not in proper clothes, his clothes were torn, he was in poor condition, his clothes were like rags which were quite wet because of the rain. So the ironmaster thought possibly he is not ready to go with him because of his torn clothes. Thank you very much. We will discuss rest of the story in the next video.